It sits there, crouched on the tarmac like a small angry terrier. A Ford Fiesta ST in molten orange. To most, it's just another hatchback, but to enthusiasts, it's a pocket rocket. A hooligan in a sensible suit. Under its bonnet, a tiny, furious heart is being pushed far beyond its limits. The driver, young and ambitious, is about to learn a costly lesson. For now, he's intoxicated by the surge of power, the turbo shoving him back in his seat. The boost gauge swings deep into the red. He feels invincible, but he's not in control. He's riding a grenade with the pin already pulled. Deep inside, the turbo's whine shifts, subtle, but ominous. Each press of the accelerator is a gamble. The turbo is being force-fed air, screaming in protest. The engine is ingesting fire, and soon it will spit it out in spectacular, wallet-incinerating fashion. Tonight, the Fiesta feels like a giant slayer, nipping at the heels of cars worth 10 times as much. The driver grins, oblivious to the ticking clock. He hears the dump valves hiss, but not the high-pitched keen of a dying turbo. The motorway will soon witness not a triumph, but a mechanical tragedy. The MK7 Fiesta ST was a revelation, fun, affordable, and turbocharged. That turbo transformed a humble engine into a powerhouse, and tuners saw endless potential. With a simple remap, owners could unlock staggering power, 220-230 horsepower or more. The forums buzzed with talk of Stage 1, Stage 2, and the mythical Stage 3. Why settle for stock when more was just a click away? The turbo was the key to this transformation, and the aftermarket exploded with upgrades. It was a golden era for hot hatch fans. But the quest for more power is a slippery slope. The turbo, once a faithful servant, is now pushed to its limits, forced to deliver more. The siren song of boost drowns out the quiet warnings of mechanical common sense. Let's talk numbers. The stock turbo runs at about 1.0 bars, safe, reliable, engineered for longevity. A typical tune demands much more, 1.4, even 1.5 bars. That's a 50% increase in pressure. The turbo, designed for less, is now screaming for mercy. It's not just pressure, it's heat and speed. The turbine spins over 200,000 revolutions per minute, generating immense heat. The intercooler struggles, feeding the engine hot air, risking detonation, engine knock. The turbo's bearings, just a thin film of oil, are pushed beyond their limits. Oil breaks down, metal grinds on metal. The finely balanced turbine can start to wobble. If a blade touches the housing at speed, it's instant destruction. The turbo doesn't just fail, it self-destructs. The most common mistake? Asking too much from stock hardware, believing a software tweak can defy physics. People chase numbers, ignoring the limits of tiny components. They write checks the hardware can't cash. When it bounces, it's in a cloud of blue smoke and financial ruin. A dying turbo always gives warnings if you know how to listen. First, the noise a healthy turbo whistles, a dying one shrieks like a dentist's drill. If you hear this, it's already too late, shut it off and call a tow. Next, power loss. Your pocket rocket suddenly feels gutless, the turbo no longer building boost. The car feels asthmatic, struggling to breathe. Then comes the smoke-thick blue or gray clouds from the exhaust burning oil as seals fail. Oil levels drop and you might find oil in the intercooler piping. Finally, the dreaded check engine light. The ECU knows something's wrong. Ignore these signs and you're ignoring a fire alarm while you smell smoke. Horror stories are everywhere. 5 minutes on a Fiesta ST forum and you'll find "My turbo blew up." One owner, after an aggressive remap, heard a pop and a noise like a bag of spanners. The turbo was destroyed, the engine bay covered in oil. Another bought a tuned car second-hand. The turbo's compressor wheel was missing blades, the shaft wobbled. Previous abuse, hidden by a software reset. Some chase just 30 more horsepower and end up with a repair bill half the car's value. Should have saved for a proper hybrid turbo, one owner laments. Even small mods can kill. A cheap dump valve made the right noise but confused the ECU, running rich and stressing the turbo. Months later, the dreaded whine began. The workshop showed how incorrect venting had worn the bearings. The pursuit of noise killed performance. A tragic irony. All these stories share a theme: pushing stock parts too far. The result? Catastrophic failure and empty wallets. Want more power from your Fiesta ST? Be smart, respect the hardware. If you want more boost, don't rely on the stock turbo. Upgrade to a hybrid unit built for the job. The tune matters. Avoid cheap generic maps. Go to a reputable tuner who'll create a safe, reliable power curve. A custom tune costs more, but a new engine costs far more. Monitor your car's health. Check oil levels, listen for odd noises, and consider gauges for boost and air-fuel ratio. Once you start tuning, you're the chief engineer. Vigilance is essential. Remember, every engine has its limit and the stock turbos is lower than you think. Chasing more power is seductive, but pushing too far ends in disaster. Tune smart, upgrade hardware, and respect physics. Otherwise, the silent killer under your bonnet will make itself heard, in the most expensive way. And on that bombshell, good night.